Now let's talk about exclusion crisis that occurred in 1679 and 81. That who is going to be the next king. Charles II, just like his father, he was also spending a hedonistic lifestyle, a lavish lifestyle, and people once again got fed up. They wanted to change the king. So one of the options was James Scott, the illegitimate child of Charles II. Charles II had multiple mistresses and he wasn't have a kid from his original wife, so there was no legal heir to give the throne. James Scott was one of the options, however, he was the illegitimate child. So the next option was James II, the brother of Charles II and the son of Charles I. So you can see that after the death of Charles II in 1685, James II restored the throne. So James II ruled England from 1685 to 1688. In 1688, what happened that the rule of James II ended? So there is another great event, and that is Glorious Revolution. Glorious Revolution, also called Bloodless Revolution in 1688, in which James II absconded. Why? Because his own daughter, Mary II, along with her husband William III, they attacked England to take the throne. So you can say that James' son-in-law William III and James' daughter Mary II attacked England to take the throne, and this is called Glorious Revolution, in which James II absconded. Now, James II, even though he attempted to recapture the throne, which is called Jacobite Rising, but he failed to restore the throne. So you can see that from 1688 a new monarchy developed, and that is a joint monarchy of William and Mary, William III and Mary II. So they both were ruling England from 1689 till 1702. Though Mary II died after some years, and William III continued his throne till 1702. And after 1702, you could see that Mary's sister Anne came to the throne and she became the Queen of England, which we'll discuss in the upcoming lectures. Okay, various factors were involved in the persistent changes of the king. There were, religious factors, the Protestants and the Catholic. There were two political parties, the Whigs and Tories. Though both political parties were trying to develop a constitutional monarchy, they were against the absolute monarchy. They wanted to give power to the prime minister too. So two political parties, the Whigs and Tories, they were also trying to develop House of Common. So there must be a prime minister who should be the representative of the common people. And there are certain other various factors which we are going to discuss in the upcoming lectures. It isn't called restoration because of the restoration of the monarchy, but because restoration of the theater. You know that theaters were banned in 1642, that was Age of Milton, and here in 1660 theaters opened and comedy of manners flourished. So in the upcoming lecture we will talk about comedy of manners and some other important genres, the heroic tragedy. However, another important figure we should not skip, Samuel Pepys being one of the important figures of the restoration. He was the diarist, and his active diary is from 1661 to somehow 66 or 67. So all the events, the Great Fire of London, the plague, he has noted down in his diary.